Hello, Virgo friends and family. Welcome to your February 2020 Intuitive Energy Forecast. My name is Lyle, and this is my space here on YouTube. My website's lisalyle.com, and my Facebook presence is Wisdom of the Heart. So thank you for being here for this second intuitive energy update that I am offering. Congratulations, you made it through January. That's a very good thing for all of us. It has been a really interesting ride since the time of the solstice. And I feel like every time I connect to share messages, I'm always saying it's been a really interesting ride. January truly was, and with all the cosmic alignments, once in a lifetime alignments that we are experiencing, have had many of us feeling between worlds, if you will, sort of within this void space. And I feel like for many of us, my fellow Virgos, it has been what's coming is confusing, and yet on a deeper level, it's not really confusing because we understand the necessity of the process. So it has been a bit of a time where we're feeling this start-stop energy, and so it's about finding our footing. And I really feel February 2020 is about finding our footing. And we can do that rather easily through getting outside into nature. Because as Virgos, this is, our element, the earth realm, and we are generally known as the healers, the mothers, the nurturers. So we have to really be the embodiment of the nurturing for self, and taking the opportunity to nurture ourselves each and every day, and in fact making the commitment to nurture ourselves each and every day. This month we have our ruling planet Mercury going retrograde on the 17th, and Mercury will be retro until around, I believe it's the 10th of March. And this is interesting. So at this time, as always with Mercury retrograde, it's really about this inner journey and the need to reflect and perhaps more importantly, reassess where we are, what we're feeling, how are things unfolding for us. And I do, though, feel that this Mercury retrograde being this month, which seems like a very, very, I've been hearing about this month since back in the summer of 2018. And it's really interesting because here we are now, and things haven't unfolded to this point exactly as I had envisioned, and yet we're here and we have an opportunity now to reassess and perhaps redirect our personal energy that we put into projects, that we put into, the devotional aspects of our life, our own sacredness. And it's funny because this sacred sexuality card has come. We're working with the energy of the Magdalene, sisterhood, the dragons, as well as universal consciousness for these messages. And there will be also an animal guide. What this is feeling for me, because I was saying that what I was going towards is that as Virgos, we can analyze things to death. We can think things to death. And through that process, we can full stop ourselves from the forward momentum, the forward energy of the heart. And so I do feel that this Mercury retrograde for us, it is about reflecting, and clearing away. It's also about taking action. And perhaps it's taking action to honor our spiritual essence, to honor our connections in physical form with others. If you're in partnership, taking the time to reestablish that connection, because it's a very, when in balance, union, divine union between counterparts, between physical, the human interaction. The physical interaction can be a very uplifting and inspiring connection. And if we are not in balance, and if we're still being triggered by outside influences, and we're still being triggered through our sexual connections with others in our pain body, then we have some work to do. So this Mercury retrograde, this month of February, is going to be depending on where you are in your journey. It's going to play out and look very different for many of us. And yet ultimately it is about finding footing, reestablishing your footing. Oh, this is really beautiful. So the dragon energy that comes to support us is the silver lunar dragon. And we have a Leo full moon this month, maybe the 10th. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's on the 10th. And then we'll be having the Pisces new moon 2 weeks later. Pisces is our polar opposite. Pisces is this very dreamy, imaginative sign. And I feel like with Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Pisces, this is really about us getting out of that analytical mind, and moving more into that. It's funny because I'm hearing like your analytical mind is very imaginative, because what I'm guided to say is to get more into the imagination, the inner vision, without thinking it, analyzing it to death, to really get into that fluidity of the rhythms and cycles in your life. And again, through the inner reflection process, what is it that you're here to do? This feels, it says, bathes you in divine feminine light, because I was going to say, like, for a dragon energy, it feels very soothing, very gentle, and it goes back to that essence of the Virgo, which is this earth mother, this nurturer, this healer archetype. And, as well as that the honorary path, the solitary path of service. It says, come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. So for me, when I connect with it, when I do group healing or group sessions, I always connect with the causal body of God for the group, which is this, it's the oversoul. It's us as connected directly to source. So, spend some time through your breathing practices, perhaps in nature, connecting to the source that nourishes you. And we're always nourished from within. Nourishment, truly on a soul level, doesn't come from outside of ourselves. It comes from our ability to nurture ourselves, our ability to honor what we feel without becoming overwhelmed by what we feel. So let's just tune in and ask for some universal wisdom, some wisdom that flows directly from source for us Virgos this month. And we get the beautiful fertility card. I love it. It's February 3rd as I record this, and we get this number 3. And look at that glowing heart chakra. It's really about moving forward on our path of the heart. And this is an abundant time for each and every one of us to work with our imagination, to bring forth our creations. What is it that we truly want? What are we nurturing? And no, like it, I see this tree back here, and it says we nurture here, the growth takes place out here, which supports the abundance that is our divine birthright, the abundance that supports us to live on this earthly plane. It's really beautiful. And the Trinity 3, I always feel that Trinity energy, the Trinity within, Mother, Father, God, divine feminine, divine masculine, divine inner child. We balance all within ourselves. And this month, I encourage you to find your footing. Find your footing, and however that looks for you. And I really do feel also to say stop the self-judgment and the criticism, the eternal dialogue that never stops. And yet, this is so beautiful, because I received this personally myself in the last 3 times I've pulled cards from this deck for myself. The animal spirit, the wild unknown animal spirit oracle. And I'm going to read what the guidebook says about deer. Deer always speaks to me of gentleness, gently allowing for our path to unfold. And the unfoldment of the path takes place within us and externally as the next step. So be gentle with yourself. I can't help but to feel the energy of Kuan Yin when I connect with deer. And Kuan Yin really teaches us, or has come to work with me, to support self-love and compassion, which is what February, the February energy feels like, with the Mercury retro, and how can we better serve ourselves? Because when we can figure that out, and self-service isn't about, I want what I want when I want it. Self-service is, how can I take care of myself? How can I show myself more love, more compassion, and more kindness today? And then to follow that and do that, which supports you in being more peacefully in the eternal now. So, deer's message for us to carry us through. I just need a sip of water. January was sick bay around the house here, with my son being unwell, and now no time to be sick when you're a mom. Or is it really important to take that time? It's very important to take all the time you need. To take all the time you need to heal, to get to that place, that personal path that gets you to that place where you're living within the joyful abundance of your divine inner knowing, your divine intuition, which supports you in knowing and feeling that you are safe in the here and now, for you are eternally connected to Source. And in the physical here and now, it's simply about humans learning to be more loving, to be more kind, to be more playful and generous in their presence. So the message Deer brings us through to carry us through February is loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures, regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. We've got the fertility card. We've got the lunar silver dragon card, which was all divine feminine. Virgo, we're talking to Virgo here. The divine feminine, the mother. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing and calm. Their inner beauty radiates a sense of grace that calms a room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. And I feel the situation that calls for gentleness and compassion is life in 2020. Life at the beginning of 2020, a whole new decade. Let's do this different. Let's do this trusting and honoring and following our heart gently, being gentle with our heart so that we can be gentle with the hearts of others who are simply souls embodied as we are here to heal. And with any luck, with any amount of dedication to sacred self-love, here to experience infinite joy and abundance. All born of the seed, from the seed of love that we are. So when in balance, deer energy is receptive, compassionate, and nurturing. When out of balance, it's concerned and protective. And this feels like perhaps it's that it's that yin and yang energy, that's that analytical mind versus that intuitive heart that guides the analytical mind to action. So to bring into balance nature and children. So Virgo, I trust those messages resonate with you. I wish you an abundantly blessed February. I'm really looking forward to it. Do something, if nothing else, really work with the energy, the vibration of the two energy, the high priestess that is you, the medicine man or woman that is you in this lifetime. February 20th feels like a very potent, energetic day for us. Once again, we had a really once in a 1,000-year day yesterday. So really work. The universe supports you, me, supports all of us. It's up to us to take the action in our day-to-day to gather strength and courage and the momentum to consciously live from your heart. I see you, I feel you, I love you, thank you. If you want to work with me more one-on-one, details in the comments below. For the month of February, I am offering readings just like these, Magdalene messages supported by the dragons and the elementals. So if you're interested in that, please check out the link in the comments below to book your session. So until next time, take good care of yourself. Have a great February, Virgo.